Here's one belief most of you ladies hold, that what men care about most is physical intimacy. Basically sleeping with you, but what if I told you that there's something that we value even more? And do you know what that is? Respect. Now you might be thinking, okay, I get it. I've heard this 1,000 times that men care about respect, and you might assume that you already know what I'm talking about. But I will suggest you to stop multitasking and pay close attention, because I promise what I will share in this video will completely change the way that you see your relationship with a man. While intimacy and attraction may draw a man into a relationship, it's respect that keeps him fully invested. It's at the core of how we experience love, value, and connection. Without it, even the most passionate relationships eventually fizzle out. If you're new to the channel, my name is Ismael Gomez, and today I want to teach you why respect is the key to unlocking a man's deepest devotion and loyalty to you. Okay, so let's begin. So why are men driven by respect? When a man feels respected, it affirms his place in this world and motivates him to keep giving his best to the relationship. When you become a source of respect in his life, it inspires him to invest more deeply in the connection. Now, why do we care so much about respect? Sometimes even more than love. Well, think back to when you were a little girl, okay? In middle school, let's say. I'm pretty sure that all of your friends were always talking about who was the prettiest girl in class, right? But in the same way, boys were constantly competing and talking about who was the most respected. And you see, this early conditioning that happens in most societies shapes the way in which men see their worth and their place in the world. As we grow up, this need for respect becomes a defining factor in our relationships, often surpassing physical attraction or surface level compliments. That being said, when I bring up this topic, the most common question I get from most women is, well, Ismael, I've respected my man and still he walked away from me, or worse, he cheated on me. And to that, I want you ladies to understand that your respect only matters if it's worth something to him. If he doesn't value your respect, it won't make a difference how much you give. So now let's discuss how to make your respect something that he truly values. Always outsmart him. Alright, when I say outsmart him, I don't mean playing mind games or competing with him, okay? Instead, I'm talking about using emotional intelligence to navigate conflicts and build deeper connections. Men appreciate women who communicate with clarity and composure. Like, I've been in relationships where during a heated argument, I was completely fired up, okay? Convinced that I was right and caught up in proving my point. Meanwhile, she stayed calm, listened, and when she finally spoke, she hit me with a few solid points that I couldn't argue against. And she didn't try to one-up me or make me feel small. She just handled it with confidence and maturity. And by the end of it, I felt like a complete fool for losing my cool while she stayed composed. And that's the kind of thing that makes a man respect and appreciate a woman as an ally, someone that he wants by his side. Another way to outsmart him is through action, because men are wired to notice results more than words. Take my sister, for example. Her husband is always overloaded with work, so whenever they plan a trip, she's the one who takes care of everything. She books the Airbnb, she buys the plane ticket, and maps out the whole itinerary so they can just go and enjoy themselves. And more importantly, she uses his credit card to pay for everything, okay? And you see, that dynamic works really well for them. So sometimes you gotta let him handle the pain while you handle the planning. Let him add value to your life. Men thrive on feeling needed, okay? When a man believes that he plays a key role in adding value to your life, it reinforces his sense of purpose and deepens his emotional investment in the relationship. Now, this doesn't mean that you should depend on him for everything, okay? But allowing him to contribute in meaningful ways creates a partnership where both of you feel important. Again, I always tell you ladies that the more he invests in you, the more he will appreciate you, okay? This is literally how our brain works. Like, we see ourselves as investors, right? So if we invest a lot in you, we tell ourselves that this woman has to be the one, because I've invested so much in her and I'm a smart investor. I don't make dumb investments. I mean, there's no way that I wasted my time and effort on this person and she was the wrong one. And if you want the perfect example of this, think about sports, okay? A man will stay loyal to the same team that keeps losing season after season. Maybe they haven't even won a championship in 20 years, but he still sticks by their side. Why? Because he has invested his time, his emotions, even his money for many years. The same logic applies in relationships. When a man willingly invests in a woman, he convinces himself that she's worth it. Because walking away would mean admitting that he wasted his time. The deeper the investment, the stronger the attachment. That's why the best strategy strategy, like I always tell you, is not chasing a man, it's creating opportunities for him to invest in you. Be clear about what you want. When you are clear about your vision for the future, this is going to set the tone for the relationship. It's going to challenge and inspire a man to rise to meet your expectations. Literally everyone who hires me comes to me for clarity. This is how important it is. And clarity is going to require two things from you, right? Saying out loud your desires, your manifestations, but also aligning your actions with your intentions. For example, if you tell a man that you're looking for a committed relationship, but then you tolerate inconsistent behavior from him, you're sending mixed signals to him and the universe, and you're lacking a sense of clarity in your own heart. And men pay attention to what you allow more than what you say. Listen to that again. Men pay attention to what you allow more than what you say. If you settle for minimal effort, he's going to assume that that's enough. But when you uphold your standards with your actions, whether that means stepping back when he's not showing up fully or walking away when necessary, you communicate a powerful message that you're serious about what you want and you won't settle for less, especially when it comes to your future. Don't control, remove. Trying to control a man's behavior rarely leads to respect. Instead, the most powerful thing that you can do is take decisive action to remove anything or anyone that doesn't align with your values. For example, let's say that you have a friend, okay? And I'm sure that most of you have this type of friend, someone who constantly criticizes your decisions or crosses your boundaries. If you allow this behavior to continue, it sends a message to everyone around you, including your partner, that disrespect is acceptable. But if you address the issue directly or you choose to distance yourself from that friend, you're taking a stand for your self-worth. And that kind of action speaks volumes about your character. Because at the end of the day, ladies, true strength is not about how much you can control this man or how much you can manipulate him because you learned some tricks on YouTube, right? It's not about how much poor treatment you can tolerate because you're a strong, independent woman. It's about setting boundaries and staying true to your values. Because when a man witnesses this kind of confidence, he's going to respect and admire you even more. Alright ladies, so that's all for today, and to quickly recap, understand why respect matters so much to men. Outsmart him emotionally, ensure that he adds value to your life, be clear about what you want, and never try to control. Just remove yourself instead. And for today's comment, we have Naranja Morena, who wrote this on one of my videos. Obsess over yourself. Look at yourself and write down everything that you like about yourself. Admire yourself, congratulate yourself, be your biggest fan. The above sounds strange, but when you have iron self-esteem, it is very easy to set limits. Alright, so that's it. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. I'm glad that you chosen me to learn about self-love, dating, and relationship dynamics, because like I always say, for your relationships to change, you need to change. Okay? Have a beautiful day.